I'm Tash.
And I'm Larni.
And we're My Two Wives. Welcome back to another episode. Today we are discussing...
wives, husbands, and roles at home.
Yep. Okay.
So our little
we should point out that this was a request by a follower. So shout out to you. We are fulfilling this. We do have some opinions on this. What do you think, wife?
I think, okay, so let's talk about personal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Is that financially, I've always been the breadwinner in my household. So I never actually had a dominant male that was dominant and making the money and providing. I've always actually been that.
Yeah.
So
you have been.
It has. And then when I've dated people in like all the pasts, I've always like financially either supported them.
Yeah.
50% supported them.
Yeah.
Paid for our leisures and our trips. And also because I have the children, I've never asked for them to also pay for them either.
Yeah.
So I've always taken
when they're not baby daddy.
Yeah. Well, when they're not baby daddy and also the baby daddies.
Yes.
So out of my 3 children, I've never seen a cent from any dad.
Yeah, okay. That's
so I've
hectic.
financially been responsible for them. Partners that have come into the picture, I've never asked for it. So I've always taken on that like role.
100%.
But my thought now,
Yeah.
getting older and the relationship I have now has totally changed.
Yeah. No longer want to play that role of being the one that's always looking after everyone.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, I know.
And the responsibility alone, I feel like, for example, in the partnership, you feel like you are the only one doing it. Like you actually have no one you can financially come to and be like, hey, I need help.
Yeah. It's such a... Look, I don't think I've ever seen you stress about it, even though I know when push comes to shove, one of the only things I've ever seen you actually stress about is actually money. One of the only things that gives you actual anxiety. But I don't think I've ever seen you really stress about it in the sense where you would look like you're outwardly drowning from my perspective. But I could see that over the period of time you've been the breadwinner and having to be the woman that's doing it all, and I mean literally all, that it's just, it would be nice if you could just take a step back and if some male could exhume that for you and just nurture you in that womanly feminine that so many women would
also,
like.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that traditional gender role, you know, like, because, you know, the question begs, is it outdated? And from your perspective, I mean, you could answer that because you have not lived a traditional gender role since having children. And so my question is, coming from someone who hasn't had the gender role of just a stay-at-home mum and a lady of leisure sort of thing, like, do you think you would like that now?
Yes. So not only would I like it, but I also want it for my kids.
Right.
So one thing I feel like I'm teaching with my sons, especially, and also now my daughter, is that it is your duty as the leader of your household, which I feel is pretty important for the boys to be the leader and for my daughter one day to marry, to have that husband protect her. Like I want her to feel protected. I want her to not feel like that she's only got herself to fall back on. Because my new partnership, we're building on it and like it's fairly new. Yeah. But I'm really feeling like I actually can rely on him with things.
Yes.
Like we're about to have a baby.
Yes.
And I'm going to have to take some time off work. And I'm not scared this time.
Yes.
Like,
because you can feel that his masculine has got this time. And I have to admit, I feel that for you this time around too. Because with all other previous partners, even though have looked the part, and masculine, by the way, has nothing to do with what you look like. You can be as jacked and ripped as you like, but let me tell you that masculine, nothing to do with how much you can lift. Yeah, it is your actions, how you can nurture the feminine in a woman, how you can make her feel safe, protected, look after those babies, and let her step into the divine feminine. And that is a real thing, especially seeing as I have witnessed, Larni, with men that appear masculine but don't act in their masculine at all because they don't understand the nurture component of that. And I'm not really too sure why, but they absolutely don't have those traits. And I know what those traits are because I'm married to a man who is so perfectly...
Because you and I are opposite.
Yes.
When it comes to the relationship. You've definitely been in a more traditional...
Very. Although I've worked
Yeah, you've always worked. You've always worked. But there's been points where if you actually don't have to work or if you're going to have a baby, like with your sons.
Yes, I could step back. I had choices.
Yeah, you actually had the choice, right? You had the opportunity. I think in our personalities, because we're so much alike.
Yeah.
And we're dominant women.
We are.
Is that we actually like bringing to the table too. And we like being, no, we've still got this. We've still got our own.
Also, we'd be a bit bored, I reckon, if we didn't work completely. Like if we were just completely stay-at-home mums. Not that there's anything wrong with this at all, by the way, because I love the days I do get at home. And I just think for my...
I'm liking it too.
Yeah. It's a nice balance.
It is.
It's a little bit of work and a little bit of home life. And it's beautiful, that contrast, to be able to get that beautiful balance. That's chef's kiss if you can get it.
Yep.
If you're a woman that likes working, and no judgment, if stay at home, if Nara Smith's your vibe, you want to stay at home, mummy, like go for gold, because I think there is so much beauty in the marriages or relationships where the woman can stay at home and do her thing for the family, cook from scratch, do all the cleaning, so her man can go work at wherever he's working, come home and just relax. Because it's hard on a man too. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I can definitely say, as someone who's had a contrasting relationship to yours over the years, that it's been nice to have someone. And that's what I mean. I was saying is that I know the contrast between the previous men you've dated to put them up against someone who is of a true masculine on all levels. So I know that the ones you've dated definitely, they're just, it's like a lack of responsibility nearly. Like they just...
No, they come in and they've been essentially like another child for me to look after.
Yes.
Whether it's emotionally, I'm trying to help them out, or financially, I'm like, it's all right, babe, I got this. Or, you know, you don't have to buy me a birthday present or a Christmas present, or you don't have to buy my kids
Or they use
gifts.
your kids as collateral damage in a relationship.
Yeah.
Or they
don't pay rent for 2 years and live with me. And, and
they don't see anything not masculine about that.
No.
They think that that's totally fine. Whereas my husband would be mortified at the thought of ever leeching off a woman.
He was when
he absolutely was.
He was when we told him about one of them.
He still grinds his gears to this day. He's still like, did that really happen?
That I had a partner once that lived with me for a few years and he didn't pay rent for 2 years.
This killed my husband. He just could not fathom this. It's just, I don't know why. It was one of these things that just triggered him. And
I understand it now though.
Do you?
Yeah, I understand why it does, because then I see, like, I just know what it's like for a man, because to be demasculated and not be able to even financially be responsible for yourself, let alone an entire family, like that's just a judgment of character and also who you are as a person. Like, and if that doesn't affect you, for you to feel like as a man, oh, I'm not even paying my own way, essentially my new mummy is, to me, it's number one, it's a turn off for me now.
I can see the ick coming through here.
It is an ick.
Yeah.
It's a turn off for me now.
Yeah.
And for you also to be okay with that as a man or a boy.
Yeah.
To be able to do that to another female, or to do that to a female at all.
Yeah.
To me is just like a judgment of your character, and you're just not... You're not a provider, and you're not a real man in my eyes.
Yeah, at all. You don't have the divine masculine.
No, not at all.
Not for a divine feminine.
No. And I don't, like, I expect that never to happen from my sons.
Yeah.
I expect my daughter to also be treated accordingly.
Yeah.
Whether she wants to work and also have that. Look, I think working is also important as a female, for just in case there might be something that happens within your relationship, to also have maybe different experiences and be capable. If something went south.
Competent, capable, to have a career path and financial stream that would not limit you going forward, have the relationship end not the way it was, you know.
Yeah, because people just fall out of love, right?
They do, and things happen.
Normal things is like sometimes financially you guys are compatible and he looks after you and whatnot, but also then being put into a position where if you sacrifice that, or you're also taking away the option to safely or financially leave as... You know,
a woman needs the financial independence somewhat, because there is a chance that any good relationship might go pear-shaped. I guess you can't leave reality and think everything's fairy tale. It would be good if it was, but hypothetically, if your daughter was to travel along to find a relationship and she maintained her financial freedom, I guess in a little sense, she wouldn't have to go make millions of dollars, and then she had that back up there for herself. So if and it went to shit, that she could be like, I can go.
Work ethics.
I can work.
That's why, like, she's 7
She's competent.
now. Yep, she's 7 now, and I've even just been taking her to work and teaching her just how to work.
Yeah.
Just so she can also be competent and capable.
Yeah. Competent, capable, and free if she wants to leave. And also, you know, she might grow up and want to do all these things that she's got going in her brain all on her own, which I know that you as a very hardworking person is going to push for. But it just means that she's got options. And those options are good for women.
Yeah, leaving options open for women and even for men to
DV
be capable.
well, you see the DV victims that it will end up DV victims. Didn't start that way, ended up that way. The women never worked. They can't go out into the workforce. They're tied down by all these children. It's a very rock and a hard place situation.
Yeah, catch-22.
It's such a catch-22. So you're just locked there. And being trapped is when you're trying to leave something is also the worst feeling in the world. Because you can't leave, you've got no money.
We've seen both. So that was the other thing.
Yeah.
So in a DV relationship that I was in years and years ago, being the fact that I could financially support myself and I was the breadwinner, like leaving that relationship, nothing changed essentially for me. It was just like, boom, I left him, every relationship, and it was easy for me to do.
Yeah.
However, I've known women and seen, unfortunately, their struggles is that they have to be more calculating when to leave because they're financially stuck because they can't.
Well, that's the whole power dynamic in a relationship when it comes to finance. Is just when you're earning all the money, you've got all the power. So you can just up and leave anytime you want because you can.
Yeah, that's your option.
Yeah. That's your option.
Although I believe now and I like the fact that it's a man should definitely be the head of the house financially and emotionally and, well, not emotionally, but just be the head of the house, right? The masculine forefront of the family.
Yeah.
It's important for women
the one
to
that
also,
just can hold it all together.
Right? And then the women are the ones that just nurture everything.
Well, it's natural.
Or do the collective, like, little, I'll keep this shit together. I'll manage that over here. I'll keep this together. I've got you, babe. And it's a team rather than it landing on just one person.
Yeah, that's right. Because that often happens in relationships. And I feel like men with not enough masculine and not enough responsibility, and I can't pinpoint exactly what this is, but the men that lack that always just shift everything to the woman. You're essentially just going to work, but she has to do everything and she might work too. She does the kids, she does the lunches, she cleans, she cooks, she does it all, and all you're saying is that all you do is go to work. And I'm not sure if I like that golden balance either. Like, I don't think that's the golden balance. Yeah, because
there's a resentment that comes in that as well.
That's right.
So women can eventually resent a man for that.
Yeah, just leaving.
Or even like the man, for example, if he was just to do all those things.
Yeah.
It
well, it feels lonely there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm working, right, because I've had this conversation with my husband, I don't have the same dynamic as his parents. Right? Because I work and I work a lot and I've always worked and I never quit. So all those other things that are in the house aren't just my responsibility because I also go to work. So I will expect you to come to the table with, there are some things in our house. Look, we don't have a set boundary or we haven't sat down and said, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. But there are just some things that
you can be transparent about.
Yeah.
And be like, actually, like this week, this has happened, but it would be really nice if you actually went and took the kids here or if you went and did this duty.
Yeah.
More of it being like an equal team and rather than one person carrying all the friggin' load as to opposed to the other.
And some women, I find, and men as well, actually, the communication goes when the resentment comes in because you start bottling things up. And
I did for 2 years.
What was your resentment?
Resentment was the fact that I was the breadwinner in a marriage and I felt like I was doing everything. And then I started resenting him and I slowly fell out of love.
Yeah.
And then the toxic things didn't change.
So where I was going with my point then, so on that, did you communicate to him where your resentment was?
I feel like I communicated in it too nicely. So now the way I am now, I would be more like, no, straight on to the point. This is how it is. And I would have not wasted 2 years of resenting.
Yeah.
I would have been so straight to the point.
Yeah.
Pulled off that Band-Aid. Either it is going to work and you're going to change these things or I'm out. Rather than it just continuously happening and it become painful.
Yeah, okay.
Because now we don't even have like a nice relationship after. So even though we have kids, there's no communication. He's not in a good place.
Yeah.
We can't even raise kids together.
Yeah.
And not be together.
Yeah.
So my kids are don't have the biological father.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they have someone now.
Yeah.
However, there was a point in time where it was just going to be me and the kids.
Yes.
And I find it important that kids do have that male masculine
Absolutely.
in the house. I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary for the men.
Yeah.
That I'm raising, my sons, and I also feel it necessary for my daughter to just see that it's important to have that partnership.
Absolutely, to see the good masculine role in a relationship.
Yeah, what she
it's
has
never
now.
nice for a girl to see the wrong type of masculine growing up. It creates, as you know, a whole
That's why I have daddy issues.
A whole host of daddy issues. Yeah. Whereas,
love you, mom. It's fine, single mother, but that's why I think I was so independent and so allowable for men to get by financially and use me in a sense, because my mum always held her shit. So I was like, no, this is normal. The female always has this. She's got her shit together.
Yeah.
She's financially dependent on herself alone.
Yes. Very much so in your life and your mother's life.
It was just like third generation again of a single parent, of a single female doing it on her
Well,
own.
often history repeats itself in family dynamics. So often, you know, housing commission families stay housing commission families, you know, drugs do drugs. Not always, but, you know.
There's a high percentage.
There's a higher percentage. And then you've got your higher percentage again of things that go wrong when a male is removed from the household. Predators, in fact, search for houses where their father is absent. So even from that perspective.
Changes everything. And I get that, and I totally understand it. And that's why when it comes to the men, that's how I'm going to raise my sons.
Yeah.
It's important to be financially supportive. And also, look, if there's men, or my sons turn around and say, look, mum, my wife's going to go to work because she's good at making the money and I'm going to be the stay-at-home father. Again, I'm just like that. I'll be supportive. If that's what you want,
if that dynamic
your marriage,
works for you,
yes,
yeah,
that's fine. Do it that way. But one person can't carry everything.
No, the default parent. Yeah. The one that just does the most. You definitely feel the weight of that. And if you don't communicate it, the resentment. If a woman also, like, this could work in reverse, but if a woman starts to feel like a mother to her husband more than a wife.
Partnership,
oh, it's game over. And you can let that shit go on for as long as you like. Also, women need to take, I think, some responsibility in being vocal.
Yeah, instead of holding it in.
Don't hold it in.
I did it for a while and you can waste time.
It's a waste of time. You build up resentment. Things blow up. Like, it's just never good to just not communicate clearly. However, in saying that, I understand that sometimes, because I have been in this position, where you communicate things and it falls on deaf ears.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, it's an even worse situation, because not only do you resent them for the things they're not doing around the house,
You've
but you
also
got to tell
told them, and they haven't listened
and
to
they're
that.
not listening.
And then the next step is then action, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it takes some people.
Yeah.
I know I'm the person more so. I need to see shit change. And then I was like, oh, crap, now I need to rein this really in. Sometimes I get stung myself and I sting myself. But I feel like sometimes also with some men that, or I guess women, is that when you get to a point where you're about to leave, once the actions come into fruition that it's actually going to happen, then they'll change. And then if they don't change by that point, it's just doomed.
I know a friend in a relationship actually where things would go a bit she'd bring it up and it happened for years on end, and she'd mention it, things would change for a small period of time, but eventually it would just go back to normal, and that ended up in divorce because this change needs to be permanent change, not just temporary change just to get your wife out of a way.
Or words. So like,
the
words
people
by
can
saying
be so,
I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Words don't mean jack.
Nah, because eventually, if you mean you're as upset as you say you're upset, the words for you are going to eventually be nothing. They will mean absolutely nothing to you, and you will only be looking for action. And if you don't see that action, you're going to bail if you have the strength to. Especially if kids are involved as a family unit. I mean, look, some people do ride out relationships they hate until the kids are older and then they, part ways. But I think that...
I disagree with that. So
You disagree. Oh, you disagree
I
with
disagree with staying in a relationship solely due for children because
Me too.
personally, you're showing the kids that it's okay to have a loveless marriage.
Well, also, the mother's happiness predicts so much of the outcome of a child.
But even that, I like my belief is that you can feel the energy.
Yes.
You can tell.
Yes.
And if a child's going to grow up around a loveless marriage where it's just so mundane, they will never grow up being like, oh my God, passion exists. And, you know.
And that true romantic
of like
love.
loving someone. And
Loving
just,
the shit out of someone.
like grotesquely.
I
Like
know.
the disgustingness of like love. And
Yeah.
I like that with myself. I've always gotten to a point, I take accountability that I kept on picking men and allowing that type of behavior. But I also get to a point where I was like, no, this isn't okay anymore. Something's got to give. And I would actually give up on the relationship and I would leave.
Yeah.
So
you absolutely did. Like, you left a relationship with the man that you loved a lot.
yeah,
And that's hard.
I still loved him.
Yeah.
But I could tell,
Yeah.
I still left because I just knew it wasn't right.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And you had the strength to do it.
Yes, I did. And I
As painful as that is.
Yeah, it was. But I want my kids to also be capable of doing that for themselves.
Yeah.
Because I want the best for them.
Yes, of course
I want
you
them
do.
to feel passion and I want
Yeah.
them to feel that
Yeah.
excitement
Yeah.
with your partner.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the right partnership and you're not equally bringing to the table with each other and you don't have the passion, fuck that shit off. Fuck it off.
Fuck it off.
Why waste time?
I know. It is such a waste of time. Yeah.
And be transparent because, like, shit, I was speaking to someone about it this morning and she was also talking a new relationship that she's in, that she is being transparent and that, you know, her relationship was different in the last one that she had for a number of years. And now in this one, she's not going to make the same mistake.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes for us to make mistakes to...
I did it as
Right?
well.
Yeah.
I did that exact thing.
You have to
Whereas
make
in
the
a
mistake to learn.
relationship where things were just a certain way, and when I left it, I was like, I will never, ever. And
Do
then
that again.
I knew I learned the lesson because anytime I dated anybody that would do similar things, I was so cutthroat. I absolutely hated any sort of way that I was burnt, and I just cut. And that's how you know you learn the lesson, because you absolutely are intolerant. Completely intolerant of that thing that you said you would never do again.
Yeah.
Or go through or accept or tolerate.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's that. What can I say?
Yeah, so...
We've lived a totally different
Relationship
type. So Lani's mentioned hers. I've lived a more traditional role, although I have worked, and I have a man that is very much so a provider, very responsible and very in his masculine, does a great job of nurturing the woman inside of me. And Lani and I are I would say we are masculine females. We do hold a very masculine energy. We ain't for the weak. But that man, and this is how I know he's in the divine masculine, because that man can
Allows
turn
you to
me
have
to
that
butter.
option, yeah.
Oh, he can just turn me to butter.
And you have the option to do either, which
Yes,
is,
he
you know
lets
what?
me-
It's fair. It's fair and it's necessary, I reckon now.
I guess you could ask the question in the modern times is do you believe, because what a lot of people are trying to suggest to those gender roles are just a made up concept. And I don't think they are, because I think if you let things play out naturally, women and men exhume those roles without even trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
We
means
go
that I
back
don't
to-
think they're just constructed.
No.
I think it's got a lot to do with the femininity of a woman and the masculine of a man. And they do, in nature, play those roles naturally.
Yep. Agreed.
Do you think so?
I do think so. Women are the ones that we bring life. We give it. The baby is glued to us. There should be a point where I need to be able to attend to my baby and nurture my baby and be here emotionally. And also I need someone to protect me so I'm capable of doing it.
Yes. And women
And that's life. That's what God made us for, to breed.
Yes.
Also for something to protect the breeder,
Yes.
which is the life giver.
Yeah.
So 100%. I do believe in the roles. I do believe I've done it on both ends. And I'm definitely changing the way I handle it now, or the way we are now in a family.
I can see your new partner has definitely got all these characteristics I haven't seen in any of your previous ones.
Yes. And like I cook dinner more. I'm home more to connect with my kids on a more emotional level, and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And I'm thriving. I feel like our family's thriving.
Yeah.
And I actually like the fact that I'm teaching that to especially my daughter and my sons as well.
Yeah.
So
I know, because it's nice to have that for your kids, because I love that my kids have that perfect role model of male. They never will know
any different.
They'll know how to nurture a woman hardcore.
And also they also get to see that, hey, my mum also can go to work and hustle and grind and be on her masculine as well, because she loves that for her. That's her personality. Yeah. But she also has the opportunity not to if she has a baby or if she gets sick, but she has someone to fall back on.
100%.
And as her son, I'm going to grow up and do that for my wife.
Yes, because exactly right. Because
I love that.
Michael, anything I've ever wanted to do, including this podcast, he's never had a chokehold on anything I've done, and I've been free to be the woman I've wanted to be the whole relationship.
But you have the options.
But what I love about it is that he stands staunch behind me, like this perfect king that stands behind this mad queen. Yeah, Mad Hatter queen. But he, like, that is just that lived experience so far. Like so far has been, honestly, I can say for myself that it's absolutely divine. Like, it's a perfect relationship, and I wish that sort of love and marriage for everyone.
Yeah, the roles.
The roles.
Roles. Either. Because
even, look, it doesn't have to be that way, but if the dynamic is suited to your family and it feels right for you, because you might have a stay-at-home dad and you might still hold the masculine, but she's just the worker, and that works too. You know, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Masculinity doesn't mean you go to work and you are the breadwinner. That's not what that means.
No, it means that you can give the options for both parents to equally come to the table. Yeah. With being able to, hey, I can relieve you of the stress. Hey, I'm here to support you. Yeah. Hey, this is what you're for. Like, this is what you can do, and this is what I'm here for, and this is what you're here for. And we can nurture each other rather than one person carrying it all. I'm just so against that now.
Yeah.
And also,
rightfully so.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. And even with that, like, friends that I have that take on that role, and if they start having resentment, I think it's fair that you have a partner that comes to the table if you're honest with them, and they assist and help you as well.
You know, if someone isn't listening to you, because you can ask them things and they may give you pushback on when you mention it. So they might gaslight you. They might say, yeah, and then actions lead nowhere. You get nothing action-wise. You know, so you do have that happen a lot. So you know that if someone's not listening to you and no action's happening, that it's maybe you're with the wrong person then. I mean, actions just tell you everything.
They do. And don't waste your time. Please don't waste your time.
Please don't. We're so big on not wasting time. Well, we've done enough of it, and we're really grateful.
Still young.
I know, like, we're still young.
So we have a long time to still do these things. But don't waste your time. Yeah. Because
have the strength on the inside, because we're all going to die one day. I know that's morbid, but we are. And we're just going to fucking cark it. And so you really have to, and you're never coming back. So you waste a morsel of your time. Like, you just, go find
Take the lesson, learn it, see what it is that fits you best, and then go out and do it.
6 billion people or whatever it is now on the planet. Trust.
And with 2 people, though, that's the other thing, right? Is that you get more done with 2 people, not just the one. So if you're going to be in a relationship, don't feel like you're holding it all together. Don't feel like you're just the emotional and you're the financial, or you feel like just because they're doing this little bit that, you just should never feel like you're carrying more of the load. It should be definitely equal.
It should be equal, 100%.
However it is you want to put it. Yeah. But what do I believe when it comes to the traditional roles is I like the traditional role now for me personally. However, it should just be with the actions of each other is equally shared. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yeah. The actions are shared.
That's definitely my point of view.
I'm not too, I agree with her on this. Because
I've done it both now. So
I've only done it one way.
Yeah. And I know women now that are still doing it more so than the other, but also they're also setting boundaries and being like, yeah, I might actually make more, or you make more, but we're also going to equally put in on these different areas to match. Yeah. And be transparent, people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Talk to you again soon.
All right.
Happy podcast.
Bye.